What's going on, guys? Just got out of the Two Towers, experiencing it in the theater. Golly, I feel like a kid again. That was so dang fun. I could leave it at that. Wow. I hadn't seen this film in about, man, maybe 6 years, maybe more. Holy. It's been a minute. And from the first scene, I was a little hesitant, a little anxious. I didn't know how well everything would look on the big screen, because the second movie is when they started using a lot more special effects in terms of computer generated stuff. And I was a little afraid that maybe the fight between Gandalf and the Balrog wouldn't look as convincing almost 23 years later. I was mistaken. That scene was flippin' dope. Oh my gosh, I got full body chills watching that and experiencing the soundtrack in the theater. What a high note to start on. It still looks perfect. And I must say, the Balrog in Fellowship still looks perfect. And from then, I was locked in, fully locked in for the ride of this film. This piece of art is what it is. Let's call it what it is. It's art. Man. And again, extended edition for the Two Towers and Return of the King is the way to watch them. The only way, frankly. The second and third films, I would say if we're only going on theatrical, the second one is the best. And the third one in particular, without the extended scenes, really feels that it's missing stuff. And once you check out the extended editions, the third one is by far the best of the three. And second extended, watching that again was a treat. It was a pleasure, I must say. And I was repeatedly blown away by how well everything still looks. The special effects, of course, the practical effects look phenomenal. And even some components of CGI, I couldn't tell. There were only a few moments, and they were rare. And then talking about CGI, Gollum, completely computer generated character using motion capture, and I think it's probably its earliest iteration of that form of technology at the time. Gollum still looks completely convincing, thanks to the performance, of course, by Andy Serkis, and whatever the special effects department did, it still looks just as good as it did. I don't even know how that's possible. The pupil, eye size changes between Gollum and Smeagol, his expressions, everything. It looks flawless. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the performances, everything. I know it sounds like I don't know what to say, but the location where they filmed, the incredible sweeping shots, especially as they're in the beginning when they're running to catch up with the Uruk-hai, when they link up with Gandalf and are on horseback, just riding through Rohan with the perfect score. Wow. Just a world that feels completely lived in and genuine, with every actor bringing their best performance, bringing their A game. And this film introduces more characters with Éowyn, Éomer, Theoden King, Bernard Hill, rest in peace. He laid it all on the line for this. Think about the role that Theoden plays. This could have been very hard to portray and just put on the story. We haven't even heard of this guy in the first movie, and here he's introduced. That transformation scene when Gandalf ejects the vile influence of Saruman is just... I love what it shows. It shows what we can become, right? And sometimes we need divine intervention and the aid of friends and family to help put us on a better course. And his performance upon learning of his son's death, is it even acting? It's so genuine. I felt that again as a viewer, and I've seen this film so many times. Wow, what a performance.
No parent should have to bury their child.
He was strong in life. His spirit will find its way to the halls of your fathers.
The extended scenes with Boromir, Denethor, and Faramir, excellent. I can't believe they would cut that from the film. That adds so much weight to the first film, understanding Boromir's struggles and why he's feeling so pressured to acquire the ring. And the dialogue exchange where Denethor says, "Oh, if I send Faramir, it would be an opportunity for
a chance for Faramir
show his
Gondor to show his quality."
And I love the way Faramir says those exact lines.
Chance for Faramir, Captain of Gondor, to show his quality.
And then with the glorious extended scene at the end when Sam tells Faramir that he has demonstrated his quality by letting them go. Perfect.
You've shown your quality, sir. The very highest.
Perfect. And the Battle of Helm's Deep is peak cinema. The best battle ever that I've ever seen, and it still looks incredible. Incredible. There was just a couple of shots here and there, and maybe because I've studied the special effects and I know how they made it, where I could see something and think, oh, that's a digitally rendered 2-second shot or 3-second shot. I remember watching it years ago and thinking, just believing it was all in camera. And who knows, again, I could tell this was the 4K version of the film. Maybe if they showed the original film or whatever, I'm not super technical on that type of vocab, but maybe it wouldn't have looked as fake, because with the remasters, some of the CGI and special effects are starting to show their age a tiny bit, but by and large, everything in this battle was perfect. It ebbs and flows perfectly. The action is great. There's humor. Golly. Again, I felt like a kid again, getting to see that on the big screen. It was amazing. Gandalf coming to the rescue of the Riders of Rohan, the soundtrack at that moment, all culminating in just sweeping the enemy before them. Oh, I love it. It doesn't get better than that. It really doesn't. What an achievement. They don't make them like they used to. They really don't. Well, those are my thoughts and ramblings on the Two Towers. I guess another thing I'll add, the Ents. That entire scene where they're fighting in Isengard, all of that looks perfect still. I love it. Rewatch these films if you've been neglecting them for a bit. Show them to a friend. They are just some of the best cinema we have out there. The best. And with that, that concludes my thoughts and ramblings.